family home evening
with bad Mormons.
You're here because you like to listen to us tell you stories of times we were not good at being Mormon.
In fact, we're probably being pretty terrible at being Mormons.
We got drunk. We took drugs.
We had premarital sex. I don't really talk about that, but it happened.
And we did it with our friend. Oh, wait, hold on. That maybe not was the best segue. Arika!
Hello. I did not actually have premarital sex with Mandy.
I thought for sure.
It turns out.
I thought about it, though, a lot.
I thought I nailed that segue. And then I was like, wait, we never actually did have premarital sex, but we did take a lot of drugs together.
We did. But we did not make out. You are a girl that I did not have premarital sex with. I mean, there are a few of them. There are some.
Well, you know what, Arika? I love you so much. And I'm just going to say our lives are only halfway over. Let's not rule anything out.
There is still time with my incredibly, at least bisexual haircut, if not lesbian.
Your haircut's fire, by the way.
There is no sexual orientation to haircuts, and yours.
It's the shag and the gardening overalls, I think, are what lends to my lesbianness.
And haircut is interesting.
So, listener, if you're new to the podcast, you may not know that our special super secret guest Arika is my longest running friendship in my entire life. We met in the 8th grade and we went to Mount Logan Middle School together in Cache Valley.
Oh God. Yes. we were 12. We were 12 years old.
We were little babies.
Wee little babies just coming into our stinky hormonal awesome selves.
And we've had a lot of adventures over the years. And if you're lucky, motherfuckers, you'll get to hear about some of those on our podcast.
Thank you. I would like to relive some bad choices with you.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Charlotte, what are you drinking over there?
Some subpar champagne. What are you drinking? Oh, that's right. It's the same thing.
Same thing. Also, but I'm also quenching my thirst, murdering my thirst with a liquid death, mountain water.
Is that just water in a can?
Just water.
Water.
But it makes you look like a fucking badass when you're drinking it.
Every time somebody asks whether I'm drinking beer, I'm like, it's just water.
Anyways, what are you drinking, Arika?
I am now drinking an Angry Orchard hard cider rosé. That came from the liquor store because nobody sells anything like that here.
Wait, where's here?
I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah.
The motherland.
The motherland where the spaceships are and all that business. Actually, I'm in the little blue bubble with more. There's more bars per square capita than there are in New York City.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we're actually voted one of the best gay friendly cities in the nation.
Really?
So yeah, Salt Lake City is very, very liberal. There's a bunch of brew pubs and breweries. There's a whiskey joint down the street, a place that makes vodka about 2 blocks away, and then 3 places that make beer. So you can just go over with your bucket basically, and please fill my bucket with your beer.
Please, can I have some more?
Can I have some more whiskey? Thank you so much. No, but they'll take you can refill things. They'll take your bottles and then give you a discount. So it's pretty fun. We buy growlers and then go down to the brewery. But so this Angry Orchard is not what I normally get, but it was portable.
Mm-hmm.
So I could come into this room to do the podcast with y'all.
You know what? Cheers to Salt Lake City.
Way to be progressive, Salt Lake City.
Here's to Salt Lake City. It is not as shitty as you would think it is. I mean, it's still shitty. I'm not going to lie, but it's not as shitty as you would think it is. Salt Lake Shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Salt Lake Shitty.
So we have a little space reserved in our podcast. Listener, you may or may not remember. We call it cool shit.
Yeah.
Like what's happening in the world, what's cool, what have we been listening to, reading, eating.
God, so much eating.
I want to throw one thing out there real quick because it's just fucking changed my life. It's a newer Twitter account called Convenient Cop.
It's so good.
It's amazing. It's only, I don't know, I think it's been around for like 3 or 4 weeks, but it's basically like, you know, all those moments when you were like, God, why isn't there a cop right here? They capture that moment and they put it on Twitter and it's fucking great.
So about 30-second segments of somebody doing something idiotic and immediately a police officer comes in and arrests them,
Yeah,
or gives them a ticket.
It's so good. Everybody check out Convenient Cop. Yes, that's it.
Now. Yay. Convenient Cop. I love this. I love this kind of thing. I like seeing people get immediate comeuppance and like positive interactions with police, which is assholes getting what is owed to them by cops, as opposed to people who don't deserve it getting murdered by cops.
Correct.
That's how I like my cops.
Exactly.
Right, absolutely. To be fair, my favorite one that I've seen so far, when Mandy told me about this Twitter account a couple hours ago, and so when I was looking at it while we were waiting to get in line for brunch, I saw one where there's this guy. There's no audio. He's just, you can tell he's yelling at this cashier, and he picks up some cups and he just throws it at them and throws a couple other things at them.
Picks up the napkin holder
and throws it at them. And then immediately an officer takes him off. Like he was like 3 people deep. The guy just didn't take a look around to see what his surroundings were. And then immediately got like detained. And it was like, good. You should be detained. Because you see this shit all the time and these people just get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, but I mean, what do you do if you call the cops? It's going to take them too long. The person will already have left and just been a destructive
and
asshole.
If you're bigger than them and you detain them, you'll get arrested for like false imprisonment.
Well, it depends on what state you're in.
That's very true. Fucking.
It takes forever for cops to get anywhere in Salt Lake because they're sad.
Well, and Salt Lake is vast.
It is, but I mean, so the people we're cut into different municipalities as far as where the police officers are. So there are some that are in the city and some that belong to Mill Creek and some that belong to other places. And South Salt Lake has their own police force. So it's really just this little area, but they're very sad. It's a big talk on my neighborhood Facebook group, which is how sad the cops are because people are marching against them and don't want them to be able to kill people, and their morale is down because they joined to be racist, and if they can't be racist, they're sad. So
fuck racist cops. I just want to say, just in case anyone was unsure of
where we stand,
the theme of our podcast now, our new theme.
We change it often.
Yeah, we do change it often. Right now it's fuck racist cops.
Delightful.
Just fuck racists in general.
You know, I'll go with that.
Fuck racist.
If you hate someone solely based on their ethnicity or their anything superficial, weight, gender,
tattoos,
fuck you. You can go ahead and fuck yourself.
What other cool shit do you guys have to share? Because that was fun.
Okay, so my cool shit is not that I've been reading or watching anything, but I had this I had a person sit in my chair that I fucking loved. And I haven't had a whole lot with the non-binary thing, which is hence my mistake. But they were so awesome. Sorry,
it takes a minute to get used to. Don't feel bad about not getting it right on the first try.
They identify as they, them, right? So, and they came in saying, I really want to do a fun color combo. So I was like, yeah, sure, we could totally do that. No problem. And then as we're talking about the haircut that they want, then it was like, I've always really wanted a mullet. And I'm like, so why don't we do a mullet then? And then they're like, oh, well, because every stylist I've talked to says I have too square of a jaw for it. I'm like, fuck that. You've got the perfect face for a mullet. Any face is perfect. Any body is a bikini body. Every face is a mullet face. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. And if you want it, you go for it. So we cut the mullet in. It was fucking amazing. And she looks so good. they look so good.
I saw their hair, that rainbow thing that you did for them, and it made me jealous. And I thought, can I go from a shag to a mullet? Can I do that? I'm not going to. It's not for me.
Yeah, it looked fantastic.
Live with it for like a couple months. And you're like, I really still want it. Then yes, absolutely go for it. But the way we talked about it and the way they talked about their family, like, and like, we're a very like queer family. Like my husband is totally like he, him. And she's like, I'm they, them. And my daughter is currently a he. And then, or something like that. But
it was a very fluid
family. And I was like, God, I wish everybody could be raised that way. Because if I was raised more fluid, again, I wouldn't be having hangups on knowing what to call people. But they were saying that their daughter wakes up and says, okay, today, the son who's a little bit younger is like, this is how they're identifying today. And I'm like, I think that's fantastic.
You too. My child she said, there's a lot of gays in my room right now. Well, actually they're bisexuals because there's not as many boys. So they just go back and forth with what they want. I'm like, oh yeah, that's pans. And she's like, yeah, they're pansexuals, all the fairies in my room. Right. So her fairies and stuffies date each other. They have relationships and they pair up. She obviously has more girl dolls than boy dolls. And so the girls are dating and everybody's quite fulfilled in their, do whatever you love. Love what you love and be who you want.
Exactly.
Right.
It'd be nice if everybody could be nurtured in such an environment.
Right. And I think one of my main things was just like, I just wish that everybody could just do it. Like, why should there be any sort of conformities on you at all for anything? Why should any of that matter?
There never was for generations and millennia and eons. There never was.
Yeah, it's all a construct, and it just has to do with how the power structure is set up. Who has power? They can assign different roles for you, and it's easier to decide what you're going to do with yourself if I can decide that for you, because I know clearly where you sit. So ladies, make me sandwiches, make me babies, and clean my floors.
Guess what, motherfucker? Your time is ticking.
Tick-tock.
Ticking.
They're all like dinosaurs.
Let's does anyone have anything to repent for other than being born a female in a patriarchal male society? I mean, I'm perfect, so I'm good.
I had something to repent for. We literally were driving back from brunch. I said, oh, I can repent for this. What that is, I don't know. Can't remember. Maybe next week.
I don't have anything to I am perfectly happy with everything I've fucking done recently. So no regrets. Oh, except for that bottle of wine that I had when my kid had the hormonal reaction, and I was like, oh fuck this noise. Oh, Peachy Canyon.
I was just gonna say cheers to us then for being fucking perfect. Cheers.
Cheers. Salut.
All right. There's a bunch of fucked up shit going on in the world right now, you guys. Where do I even fucking start? Charlotte spilled champagne on herself.
What?
Immediately when I said it, she just doused herself in champagne.
Well, on with the sin of being born a female. Let's go to the moves against abortion in the United States.
Sweet fantastic. Fucking Jesus. Okay. So hopefully everybody's heard by now about the new law. I don't know if it's actually passed or if it's like on the ledge of being passed, but it's a new law in Texas, basically banning abortions anything later than 6 weeks. Right? I don't know if it's law, but I kind of think it is. I kind of think it was signed into law.
Less than two months late on your pregnancy. No, 2 months less or late on your your fucking period.
Weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. And like if you're a normal person, your period has varies
that much. Than I thought.
Oh, it's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was already fucked up. And like, oh yeah, good luck with that. But no, that's even fucking worse.
I've never had a pregnancy that I knew that I was pregnant before 2 weeks. Never.
It's insanity. It's complete fucking insanity. And okay, regardless of the whole entire I mean, there's no way that you can sum up the argument of pro-life, I say that in quotation marks, versus pro-choice, but you can't even identify a pregnancy that quickly.
Right.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? And that's like, I guess the whole fucking thing that we've been talking about, but I wanted to make sure that I just really reiterated that you can't even identify a pregnancy that early a lot of the times. And
Having abortion available is family planning. It helps make people will be ready to have children later, or people are not going to give birth to a child that isn't going to survive, or it's not going to help. It'll hurt the mother. There are so many reasons.
Kill the mother.
Right.
There are so many reasons why having abortion available is health care for women. And just to turn it into that you're a baby making machine is the worst political way to look at it. There is nobody who celebrates a pregnancy, gets pregnant past 6 months, who decides, nah, I just don't want to be pregnant anymore, and has a late term abortion because they're like, oh yeah, I'm done. Nobody does that.
Handmaid's Tale shit.
It's frightening. It is frightening.
Did you guys hear about this? I just heard about it today, about this girl, 13 years old. That's a 10-year-old girl plus 3, raped by her grandfather, impregnated in Texas, and had to travel the entire half the length of the state of Texas across the border to get an abortion.
That's
from the fact that her grandfather impregnated her as not even you barely even call that a teenager.
Right. That's not.
Well, and so that's dangerous for the 13-year-old to be pregnant. What kind of life would you make that child have?
Right.
Not just thinking about how you're destroying the mother, but like, what do you do to this child who knows he's born of an act of incest and rape from his grandfather? Like, what kind of health problems would that bring? There's so much shit tied to why. Oh man,
it's so fucking heavy, and it's so fucking heavy to think about. Like, just to backtrack a little bit, like we've gotten into like little tips with our like TBM, Mormon family on, like, one of my cousins posted a picture basically of like a little newborn white baby, on Facebook, and said like this abortion is, killing the lives of innocent babies, or whatever the fucking bullshit that they post is. Cause it's like that is really honestly what most of these people think is like, there's some fucking maniac clown Edward Gacy doctor coming around, like slicing up and killing newborn healthy white babies, which is not even fucking
so far from the fuck that's about.
In part of reality, right? But
no.
But so no, go ahead.
No, making abortion illegal doesn't stop abortion either. You're just making safe abortion illegal. Women will still have abortions. They will still seek abortions. They have for millennia. As long as women have been able to get pregnant, they have found ways to end their pregnancy because they are not fucking people factories.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I've told this story in the past, but I'll say it again. One of my people that I know, she was saying that when she was 15 years old, she went out on a date with somebody. She doesn't remember how it ended. She got drugged. Like, she's not a drinker. She straight up got drugged on the date. She woke up, didn't really know what happened. She went to Europe because she was just going to Europe with her family. She found out when she was in Europe, she was pregnant. Came back and just said, I don't know what happened. Like, she didn't have sex with him. It wasn't like, oh, put it, a aspirin between your knees kind of bullshit. She was just straight up drugged and raped. And when she went to the guy and said, I went on a date with you, what happened? I'm pregnant. I mean, she never even had a period. So it was further along. So she didn't even know that she was late. She's just like, what is happening here? And then he's like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. So he calls somebody. I don't know how. She said it was on a Sunday. She goes to this lady's house. She's like, I went through some back alley. I didn't know where I was at. I have no idea what's happening. I went onto one of those Formica chrome plate. It was a 50s, 60s table, and a lady, she's in her best Sunday dress, performs an abortion on a kitchen table for her, and says, you better not get any blood on my dress. I have to go to church after this. Now, if that doesn't fucking tell you what this shit is all about. Like, as far as,
Wow.
like, it doesn't stop safe abortions. It promotes back alley abortions, but they're still going to happen. And the hypocrisy doesn't end. This person said, do not get blood on my Sunday best dress.
It doesn't keep people like, Trump getting his mistress's abortion. It doesn't keep rich people from getting their mistress's abortions either. It just keeps poor people having babies and making them perpetuating this generational poverty that could be stopped through education and through less children, through, if we had birth control readily available, maybe you wouldn't have 8 kids, and then maybe you could finish your degree, and maybe we could anyway.
Well, if you guys really think about it, how are the rich people going to have workers to work in their factories for, minimum wage if we don't keep abortion legal? Anyway, should we take a break? Should we hear a word from our sponsors?
Yeah.
Let's hear a word from our sponsors.
You have a cat. You have a litter box. Gross. Are you spending tons of dough on fancy cat litter to try to make your home smell like it doesn't harbor a magical box of turds and piss? Not anymore. Introducing Shitty Litter. Shitty Litter is a no-frills cat litter that costs half the price of those high-rent cat litters you're wasting your money on. Shitty Litter smells exactly like the name states. Shitty. Because face it, you have a cat and your home stinks. You ain't fooling anyone.
Shitty Litter can be found at Smith's, Lee's, and other fine retailers. Shitty Litter is offering Family Home Evening with Bad Mormons listeners 20% off your first purchase. Just use the promo code JUDGMENT at checkout. That's promo code JUDGMENT at checkout for 20% off your first purchase of Shitty Litter. And we're back.
Hiya.
You came back?
Oh, that was magic.
Wow, that was fun. I wonder what we just do.
Who's to say? Only the magic maker knows.
I bet it was good.
Whatever it is, I want to buy it.
All right. Do we have any stories to tell the people? There's so many stories that the people want to hear.
Oh, we made some. So we've known each other for a really long time.
Let's not say how many years. Okay, it's been 74.
Oh, fuck, yeah. We met in the 80s, if that helps, in the 1980s.
Yeah, yes, we did.
That's really horrifying when we think about it. That is just that. Yeah.
Okay, I have a story. I have a story that's been brewing in the back of my brain, and I have a couple of pictures that I think could be fun photographic evidence. But tell me if you remember this, Arika.
Okay.
Sorry, Charlotte. I know you weren't probably born yet, or you were
That's
a tiny child. So our friend Piper, her parents, her father used to own a couple of, well, it started out as one gas station in town in Logan, and then it turned out to be several gas stations in town.
It was an empire.
You know whom of which I speak, which is going to be a little tricky because we don't usually say last names, but that's how the gas station is known. Is by its last name. So
can we just call it the convenience center?
We will. The convenience center. The convenience center of Logan. So I remember. So we used to we should take advantage of that in any way that we possibly could. But one of the more profitable ways that we took advantage of that convenience center was we decided to have a car wash. And we're young kids. We're like, early high school, like, I don't know, sophomore, junior high school.
14 and 15, I think.
Oh, were we not even in high school yet?
Well, we might have been like freshmen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because part 2 is none of us had a driver's license.
That's
part 2 of this. Because
okay, so imagine a bunch of preteen just teen girls scheming ways to make money. We're like, how can we make money? We're not, we're in Logan, Utah, right? The normal means of making money aren't available to us. We're good girls, so we're not going to go rob people. We're not going to be stealing purses and breaking into cars and shit. Like, we're like, how can we do this? So we decided we're gonna have a car wash, right? The cheerleaders can do it. Why can't we do it? So we have a car wash, and then we start making up these fake reasons why we're having a car wash to raise money. Like, I think we were sending you to France one year.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go study abroad to be an actress in
That's
France.
right.
That's right.
So
And we were sending me to Germany too.
that yes.
And then there was debate camp for you and me.
Yeah, debate camp, which is a made up camp, by the way. It doesn't exist. It's
I mean, we can debate whether or not it existed, but it didn't.
debate camp hosted by Mandi and Arika for Mandi and Arika. So anyways, we used to have this car wash, and it was, so Charlotte, you know where 4th North is, right?
Of course.
So it's right on 4th North, and it's a block or 2 blocks up from Maine. So it's like a very, even at the time, it was
Like
a
a
very
Smith's?
like, yeah, right at King's pretty much,
Okay,
but
there you
on
go.
4th North.
Got it.
So it was like, you know, the gas station?
You mean where the
Don't say the name of it.
no, I was gonna say where the snow cone.
Right down from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
right down from the snow
there.
cone, and it was on 1st and 4th. I think.
Oh, you're
on the
right.
corner.
First and 4th. Yeah. So
we would get out. We would have sleepovers and go over and take advantage of that by getting like free soda and free chips and shit. We'd never got beer because her dad would know. Well, and Piper wasn't a beer. She wasn't a partier.
yeah, and I think we were too young. We weren't even drinking at that moment.
We weren't. We were just making bad decisions. So here's a bunch of 14, 15-year-old girls in bikinis and swimsuits.
With free reign of the gas station. We could take
Okay.
whatever we wanted.
So
All
we,
right.
so we had a car wash, like the cheerleaders would have a car wash, like we had seen other people have car washes, and kind of shittily washed cars.
Really shittily. Well, I think how it started out was like, we're like, you know, we need some money. We don't have any fucking thing else to do, where we really need a hobby. So
Weren't we fundraising to go to Lagoon? Like, didn't we
were.
save money?
we just wanted to go to Lagoon. But we were trying to take advantage of that traffic, and so we decided we were gonna we started out doing it legit, like we were just doing a car wash to try to raise money, and nobody was biting. And then we tried out a fake scam, like, oh, send Erica to Europe, and then all of a sudden, like, everyone started giving us money, and so then we just took that and fucking ran with it, and we were just like,
did.
oh, we're gonna cure cancer. We're gonna fucking send, you know, Mandi to the Sistine Chapel, to what, I don't know, whatever kind of outlandish shit you could think of. Like, we came up with it just to get money, because we realized if you start lying to people, they'll give you money.
Right. And they'd buy the car wash and then give you extra to
Mhm.
help with whatever you were
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah.
So
Just like
cash-
Dirty Dancing, just like, here's a little something extra for you.
Here's a little something extra.
Okay, but
We had
do you remember the guy? Okay, this is the thing that I remember about this. Do you remember the guy who was like this like drug addict, hippie surfer? I don't know, maybe not surfer because we're in Utah, but some fucking like derelict driving a broke ass Volkswagen Bug, and he pulled up into our car wash and was like trying to bum money from us for cigarettes. Do you remember that?
I do. Oh, yes, I do.
He had like one dread. He was a white guy, one dread, just a
Well, and
fucking-
that's really just matted hair. It
Yeah.
was, yeah. And he smelled like pot and poop and patchouli.
Yeah,
So the 3
gross.
P's.
3 P's. So he, tell me if I'm wrong, but he rolled up, was asking us for money, and then we were like, no, we're making the money. You're not making the money. So we're like, we'll buy you a pack of cigarettes if you'll let us spray paint your car as an advertisement for our car wash. Right?
Right. We'll give you money. And this is when smokes cost like $3.25.
Bitch, please, $1.25.
Oh, you are kidding. Did
No.
they?
Are you kidding me? Menthol Light 100s. Do you remember $1.25 a pack?
Oh, you are.
When we used
yeah,
to play
you're right.
Street Fighter, yeah, and
Oh,
buy
you're
smokes.
right.
Yeah,
Oh
$1.25.
God.
Mm-hmm. That's where this whole problem with me smoking started. Anyway,
they're $10 now.
I know. I digress. But anyway, so this guy was so hard up or just so, I don't know if he saw a bunch of like young girls in bikinis or whatever. He was like, yeah, whatever you want, So we bought him a pack of cigarettes and I don't know, maybe gave him $10 or whatever. I don't know how we got spray paint. Maybe they sold it at the
I had spray paint.
Oh, you had it, of course.
I had spray paint and we got it at King's in the automotive section. We walked over to King's and got it there.
Back before you used to have to show your ID to buy spray paint.
Oh yeah, you didn't need to show your ID at King's for anything.
Mm-hmm. You could buy lighters.
What are you doing? I'm doing a project. I need like 80 fake guns. Okay, here you go. That's where I bought all my fake guns for school for shows was King's. I'm really sad that they're gone.
Yeah, they were so great. But yeah,
that's where I bought my first hair dye too to do at home. Which
really?
Is I bought a bleach pack for getting rid of your mustache. The bleach it's not the same as what you put on your hair, and you shouldn't put it on your hair, but I put it on my hair. Put it on my head hair.
And what happened?
Nothing. Like very little. It turned kind of orange.
I really hope that I can find the picture that correlates this story.
Oh God.
So we got the spray paint. We basically, the guy was like, yeah, well, do whatever you want to my car. Just buy me a pack of smokes. And probably, I don't know.
Give me some meth.
Yeah, something. Well, we didn't have meth. We were like innocent children.
Well,
we were innocent, possibly over sexually curious children.
Yeah, we were not.
And we also had jobs. We had somebody with us who was a butterface, but she had a really good body. You know what I mean. Like her body was really great. She was in a bikini, butterface. A butterface who you lived with eventually.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've talked about this person on another podcast with the notes.
Let's move on. No. So the guy, so you take it away, Erica. What do you remember from this?
I remember we gave him the money because I don't think we would have been ballsy enough to try to buy cigarettes there unless there was a guy who worked there that we could talk into doing anything. And I think I remember that there was some 20-something guy that if we went in and we're just like, hey, Ron, can we please? I was hoping, oh, geez, you look great in that shirt. And I'm pretty sure we could get whatever we wanted from a couple of people there now that I remember in the fog of memory all the way back. But we spray painted his car and we did a really shitty job.
Terrible.
Shocker.
He let us spray paint his car.
We just, after a while, like first we were advertising for us and then it was like, and now I've done a flower and here's a peace sign and here's, like it's a surprise. It's a drawing of a dick, but it's very small. It looks like a rocket, but it's a cock. I just remember doing all sorts of weird multiple layers and I think like with the spray, I can't remember the colors that we got, but I think it was like white and blue and orange or something like that's
whatever Kings had left over.
Yeah, that's seriously what we got. So we spray painted this guy's car and we got it on his windows, which we weren't supposed to do. But
it did say car wash on the side.
It did say car wash, and then there was no, I can't. I just remember that we kept on doing it, and basically we did it until there was no spray paint left. And somebody would trade out and other people would go wash cars and then we trade back and we were still working on his car and he was just like hanging out and smoking
those cigarettes that he wanted so bad.
No cigarettes. Yeah. Oh, it was weird.
Growing up in Utah, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we're like this now.
Because we inhaled all those fumes at 14. Well, and now that I think about it, it was pretty skeezy in general, for us to be hanging out in bikinis and swimsuits on a public street, enticing people to come and send us to Europe for something. But we did go to Lagoon.
We did go to
And
Lagoon.
that's all that really matters.
And let me just put a little punctuation in this story. If I remember correctly, we went to Lagoon and only one person paid. Everybody else went back around to Pioneer Village, snuck under the fence, and then did the wet stamp transfer, and then went up to the booth and was like, "Oh, my stamp's wearing off." So we really only $16 anyway to get into Lagoon, but we just wanted to see how much money we could make off of the car wash.
That's right. And then we spent our money on like the stupid pictures that they do in the front, and big like food, the big long corn dogs, and just like garbage in the park.
Anything on a stick?
Yes. Oh, and that's when they still had the fortune teller and the there were a bunch of things there that they don't have at Lagoon anymore. I'm pretty sure that it was me, because I was morally righteous that I would go through the front and not sneak under, because I'm gonna be the one who doesn't get caught. But yes, I remember doing the wet transfer for that, and like licking my hand to get it wet to do the transfer. And we did.
Good times.
Good times. Was there even a Laguna Beach at that point?
Laguna Beach? Like at Lagoon?
Yeah. There was not then.
No, I've never heard of this. Have you heard of
there
this?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
There's a Laguna Beach. It's a beach.
It sounds like a monstrosity.
You know, it is. It's full of quiverfuls of Mormon children running around, being slightly watched, like passively watched by Mormon women who've had a lot of plastic surgery. You know that we're the plastic surgery capital of the United States.
I did not know that. That doesn't seem like Jesus would be into that. What would the tattoos and the piercings?
No piercings, no tattoos. Boob implants, totally fine.
Totally. White Jesus wants you to be hot.
Yes, indeed.
But hot only according to other white religious people.
Oh yeah, and white Jesus likes fish lips and Botox, because we've got a lot of that happening here.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah, so it's really interesting to go, and you'll see a lot of super skinny mothers with like really, really skinny, with the little hangover pooch, because they've popped out like 72 babies,
like you do. And then they have those bolted on fake tata and lips that stick out, and their faces are immovable. So even if something awful has happened to them, they'll talk to you and go, "I'm really sad. This is tearing me apart." And nothing moves on their face. I really wish we had video for all of this, because all of that was so spectacular.
I'll do my impression of this. You can see them on local news here. You'll see a lot of our local newscasters. They're like, "Hello, I'm here to talk to you about the horrible thing that happened. There was something really awful." Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, good times. I do want to mention, how did we get to Lagoon? Because I'll tell you how I got to Lagoon once.
I don't remember.
I hitchhiked. I hitchhiked with Amy Butterface and got rides with men every time, and did not get murdered.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we hitchhiked to Lagoon, and we hitchhiked to Crystal Hot Springs. Do you remember that? Like, that salty, sulfurous hot springs that was really close.
My dad still takes us to Crystal Hot Springs every time we go.
Awesome.
I got a ride to Crystal Hot Springs from a trucker by myself.
Holy shit!
When I was like 14 or 15.
Damn, Erica, you're so lucky you're alive.
I am so lucky. Well, here's the problem, right? I have my parents were hippies. This is a well-established, fun little fact. And they were very open. And we've already talked about all of that. If you know me, and I know you want to, you've heard that my parents were, hippies and gave me drugs. One of the things that they would talk about is the fun of hitchhiking in the 60s. And hitchhiking to go places, and we survived. Haha, it's funny. I didn't know about all these women across the country who go missing and are found decapitated, women and young girls. I didn't know about that when I did it. I was just like, I want to get somewhere. I don't have a car.
My parents
and I don't have a cell phone. Like, there's no cell phones, and I can't get hold of people if they're not sitting by their fucking phone in their house. So I'm just going to get myself to the hot springs. And I got a ride from a trucker. And I sat in the front of the truck. And I know that I did take a pocket knife with me. And I had it open in my purse the whole time, like holding my purse, because I was a little nervous, but obviously not nervous enough to not be a fucking idiot. And hitchhike with my thumb out and everything and a big grin on my face. Yeah.
Oh my
And-
God.
Okay, I mean, he wasn't like a creep, right?
I don't remember him being a creep. My mother just texted me and it says, "Look what's come. It's for your bum." That is, it showed up on my screen. Oh, it's for she gets this toilet paper that's made out of coconut. And so it's a renewable resource, and it is the softest toilet paper I have ever had in my whole life.
Your hand while you're trying to get shit out of your butt.
No, it doesn't. It is fantastic, but they send it to you, and then all the packaging is also recyclable. So it's really, really environmentally friendly toilet paper.
Wait, say it again, because I want it, and I think our listener wants it too.
It's called Who Gives a Crap? And it's from Australia.
What is it even more?
That's why she likes it.
Who Gives a Crap? And my mom will buy boxes, and it just comes delivered to your house, and it's in pretty little wrap, and you can save it and wrap your presents in it if you want to be like me. And I've all of a sudden become anti-wrapping paper, which is against everything about me, because I love wrapping things and stuff.
I know you
yeah,
do.
but it's very, very wasteful and horrible. And so now I'm going with newspaper, or fuck it, it's in a bag.
Who gives a crap?
Who gives a crap? That is the toilet paper, and it is environmentally very, very responsible. And they send you a nice big box that you can recycle, and all the packaging is recyclable. And it is some of the softest toilet paper and some of the prettiest packaging that I have ever seen.
Ooh, I can't wait to try it.
But yes, apparently my mom bought some, and then it distracted me.
I feel like that's a really good way to be excellent to each other.
God,
Wipe your bum with the softest of all soft toilet paper.
It's renewable, sustainable,
Mhm.
eco-friendly,
And Australian.
I would like America to embrace bidets.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Yeah, that has to happen.
I like never been cleaner. And really, I keep on meaning to get one in my house, but then I want to sell my house and.
Oh no, girl, $80. Get a
For the little hookup, right?
Yeah, the tushy wipe, or I forget what it's called.
I get one with electricity, so
I'll
it's
text
warm
it to you.
on my button.
Here's the situation. It's $80. It doesn't control the temperature, but you can control the pressure and the angle, and that's all you really need. So on a cold winter morning, it might be a little cold on your butthole, but guess what? It was $80, and you don't have to dig around with toilet paper
And
to
no more toilet paper.
clean all the poop.
I
out.
like that.
So that's how we're going to be excellent to each other, ladies.
Fair.
We're going to revolutionize the. Actually, we're not going to do anything. We're going to talk on our podcast about how great a bidet is. Just that you do the same thing. Right?
Seriously, if you like oral sex, you should own a bidet.
And if you like our podcast, you should check out our YouTube channel. Check out our website at fhebadmormons@gmail.com. We have a lot of merch. Charlotte's been working hard on a lot of things. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. You wouldn't believe it, but every single time you share our podcast with your friends, it really helps other people find us.
I would like to do a shout out to those who have shared our stories or our podcast on their Facebook pages saying, check out my podcast that I'm listening to, whether it be their friends or we don't know them.
Thanks, guys.
Super appreciate it.
And also, thanks to our patrons. You guys are so fucking awesome and we love you immensely. And yeah, if you're enjoying this, share us with your friends. And thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate you and we'll see you next week.